ESL One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Logitech G, Gerolsteiner, Wüstenrot, Legion Lenovo, and StubHub. The StubHub Post-Match Breakdown.
Welcome back to the second semi-final of the 2017 first major of the season, ESL One Hamburg. We're tied up at 1-1. A classic Miracle Invoker got things started in game one very nicely for Team Liquid, but it's Secret that come bouncing back in game two. We've got two experts back at our panel once more to explain exactly how that happened.
You know that thing okay. You know that thing Matomaman likes doing to the camera?
Yes.
Where he goes like...
Yes. No.
You don't know that?
Yes. No, I do.
You do?
No.
No?
Yes.
You... Oh, okay.
Can you show us what you're talking about, please?
He did not do very much of that this game.
No.
He was on the receiving end. That was a really rough game,
wasn't it?
for Team Liquid. I think, so what made me believe that they were going to win that game was I looked at their picks and I looked at the power they had in the laning phase and how much they could accomplish with the Chin and Nature's Prophet. But it's a very delicate lineup where if things don't come together and you don't build that early advantage, it's really difficult to play into the Secret lineup come the mid game. And Secret just did a very good job at stalling them out, mainly with the Bristleback pick turned out great, just to delay timings. And ultimately, if you look at the draft like this, if this gyro isn't farmed, I think you just can't win this game in the end. Like, it's going to get too hard. I guess that's what you were expecting would happen like this, pretty much.
Oh, I also didn't expect them to put so much pressure on the Bristleback. Isn't it kind of okay if Bristle gets farm? I guess they wanted to take the T1 down, and because they wanted to take one T1 down, they had to kill Bristle. But Bristle just like died and just went back and just died again. He's like, whatever. I'm protecting my T1 so we can do Ancients, so Ace can get big and crush everybody on the team. So their game plan was pretty solid, but at the same time, they also read Team Liquid very well with what they were trying to do in the mid lane. They like just had enough resources there to stall the T1 death for long enough time for Ace to get big enough.
Do you think that, I mean, we just don't see Gyrocopter very much anyway these days, and there's a reason for that.
He's not as bad as his game made him look.
Okay.
So the thing I mentioned in the draft with Gyro is that the hero just has some bad core matchups. And I think in this game, for example, if you're playing Gyro against a PA that has similar farm or higher, and then Empower, she's just going to jump you every fight and you can't respond. Like, the hero actually has no outs whatsoever in the fight. So I think the way Liquid has to play that game is to enable the Gyrocopters to have a better game. And I know their mentality as a team is all three cores can't have a good game at the same time unless we're owning. So that's fine. But I just think then you can't pick Gyrocopter because that hero does not play well from behind at all. Right. Then you have to, he has to be the centerpiece for them early on. They have to help him and then maybe sacrifice the Nature's Prophet. But Secret did a very good job at shutting Matumba down, pressuring him all the time. The Gyro became almost a non-factor that game.
Yeah, I mean, he's done 10k damage, which is third highest on his team. Didn't really get going. I think he's 1-4-4 in the game itself. Not what you expect from him, is it?
And this is with GH playing a hero that doesn't farm that much on Earth Spirit. He was like very active, trying to run around, make things happen. He killed mid a little bit, but still not able to secure that much farm. I think they really just failed in being able to take on the T1 swiftly and controlling the Ancients. The Ancients were, I think, the story of the mid game, where Ace was able to clean them down with Empower very quickly. They sold the Ancient stack, took down Roche, and after that, it was really hard to see Liquid coming back.
Yeah. Do you feel like Liquid didn't read that well enough?
I actually just think it was the Bristle that was just caused him so many problems that when I looked at the pick, I was like, why Bristle? But now it makes sense the way they played him. It's kind of like Venomancer that's harder to kill, but yeah, kind of. They're kind of similar in the way they were played in the first 15 minutes of this game.
They just come at me, bro. Soak up loads of pressure.
Yeah,
don't
it's
care
like,
if
whatever,
I
don't care.
Yeah.
And the thing about Liquid's lineup is that they're very light on disables, right? So if the only hero they can access is a front line and they can't really kill, you don't want to spend all your disables on him just to get him cold embraced and not kill him anyway. Right. So I think the two keys for them, better farm on Gyro, and then if GH would have had earlier levels, so he could like try to pierce the backline maybe, but he was level 4 minute 12 on that Earth Spirit. We were looking at it and we were like, oh, this does not look good. Then they got a kill mid, so he got level 5. Yay. You know? It's like, it's almost a consolation prize. You want to be level 6 minute 10, at least with the tome on that hero, and it just didn't happen for him that game.
He did have some really good kickbacks.
Yeah, he played pretty well. They just didn't find enough kills. And then Earth Spirit, if he doesn't get to farm a lane,
But what about the Chen
hero.
pick, though? The Chen pick was the one we didn't talk about so much, but it didn't actually have as much impact as I
No.
thought. Like, Chen Nature's Prophet, you mentioned, it's a great opener if you want to take down towers, but they didn't. So was it the Chen? Was it the Nature's Prophet? What happened with their lanes in the early game that just didn't enable? Did they play poorly in the first 10 minutes? I don't think they played particularly poorly in the first 10 minutes.
If you want to boil it down to the worst pick of the draft, I think it's the gyrocopter. It just, if that didn't take off in the game, it's not going to happen. They tried to salvage it with the Dragon Knight last pick, which, in a way, you shouldn't need another hero that hits towers when you have Chen and Nature's Prophet. Like, that should be enough push if your other heroes have strong lanes so that you can go and kill those lanes over and over. Dragon Knight's not a lane killer. They can't, like, they're not going to just own this Bristleback mid with Dragon Knight. They were just trading. So maybe if Miracle had a strong matchup where he could, like, abuse the lane, like maybe like a Razor, or Timber saw that they banned themselves, something along those lines could have maybe done something.
That's okay. I mean, just another 300 games before we see Gyro again. That's okay.
Yeah.
In terms
Bye-bye.
of Secret, they
Good riddance.
I quite like Gyro. Secret did everything they needed to do in that game, though. Did it very well, executed really well, and Ace was fantastic.
They had huge room for error, I would say. Firstly, they just had really early Aegises. Aegises always make things easier. Fada whiffed an RP when they were pushing high ground.
He did?
Well, technically he didn't whiff. He just hit the Earth
missed.
Spirit, but
Yeah.
he wasn't able to blink. So if you don't need RP to win a fight when you're pushing high ground, that means you're just ridiculously far ahead. But that's the beauty of their lineup. It's really easy to stack. It's really easy to cast some power on melee heroes, and the hardest part for them was defending that mid T1 tower. Really have to commend Secret for holding on for some time.
I loved seeing Yapzor on the Wyvern that game. That's a very uncharacteristic hero for him to play for the Secret lineup. I think he had a great performance. Good curses. We looked at his hero damage at one point. He had the second highest in the team.
Yep.
Arctic Burn on Dragon Knight is just stupidly strong. Like, he did like 1,000 damage every time he used Arctic Burn.
Yeah, it did 9.8k damage during the match, so...
Same as
pretty good.
Gyro. Really makes you think.
Actually, yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's Wyvern OP, right?
Gyro.
Well, Gyro's dumb. Indeed. We've got a couple of minutes until we get back into the draft, so we're going to go back to the question that we posed a little earlier on. You both came up with some ideas. I'm going to throw one more in for you, and then basically it's your chance to just tear it apart and say what an idiot you are. How about
What an idiot you are.
Well, you can do it. You preempt
Right
it
about
as
to do
well.
that
No,
joke
you can
too.
preempt it as well. What about, right? There's all this talk about, is Roshan in the right place? Does it favour Dire? Does it favour Radiant? What if you take the tier 1 tower? Does that give you an advantage? There's all that kind of discussion, right? Totally get it. It's fun to talk about. What if you have another Roshan pit in the same lane, but at the bottom?
And only one Rosh
And
spawns
only one
in
spawns.
one of the
obviously.
places.
Not both. You can't have two Roshans. But that would then technically maybe even things up a bit, wouldn't it?
If you asked me 1 year ago, you also couldn't have 6 runes. But now you can have 6 runes. So, you know, who knows?
Alright,
maybe you
maybe-
can have 4 Roshans. One in each corner.
They're all died around the map.
Uh,
I don't know. Is it
you need
discussed?
to redesign. I think it could work. I think you need to redesign the map a little bit. And if it's somewhat even for both teams in both positions, like overall, it
Like
just balances it
symmetrical.
out a little bit.
Yeah.
You need to rework the map a little bit because I think that pit is hard to place
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the other side of the
What's the end
but-
goal of your design mechanic?
Just in the sense that it reduces the favour. It reduces the whole... You know,
don't-
is it
how
Radiant
one-sided
Dire?
is it?
I don't really
I
think
mean,
Roshan's favored right now.
you know-
Previously, definitely.
It's slightly,
definitely
it's
before.
slightly Radiant favored, I think.
Yeah.
The Radiant attack angle is a bit
and
better.
and I think it depends on what we were talking about yesterday. Nahaz brought up a fantastic point about which tower you take down and which ones you focus on. And if you get two in like the triangle around that, it gives you some advantage. Anyway, enough of our nonsense, or enough of my nonsense. Anyway, let's get into the draft for game number 3.
Exciting.
I could
Bans.
use a little bit more nonsense.
Bans. You can do with a bit more nonsense.
Gyrocopter.
Gyrocopter, nonsense hero.
Ban first phase.
But in all seriousness, when it comes to the heroes of that type, I feel like every hero has a place and anything can work if it's picked in the right situation. I just feel like Gyrocopter is not a pick that you pick in the slot where the enemy has 2 core counter picks left. I think it's just way too risky and you can get punished too hard. There were other open-ended options that would have been better.
So Night Stalker has won both games.
Mag, first phase. Damn, that's some respect. They're like, Secret,
That
you
was
can only win if you can farm safely and feel like you ought to win. So, don't give them the mag again.
I like that though.
Fata's scratching his head. Damn, what am I playing now? You look like, uh-oh. And their coach is having a great time. It's like, all right. You know, whenever there's a respect ban like that coming out after the previous game, it's like a mixed feeling, right? Because you're like, damn, we really got to them with
Yeah.
that hero. They're scared of
Yeah,
it. But at
but
the same
now I
time,
can't
it looks
use
like, okay, they have a plan. That's the
Well, they let
You gotta
Spear
bounce
Breaker
down.
through and Night Stalker, so if Secret first phase
there's no
Night
Venom
Stalker. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ah, so Secret take it.
Do they want to pick the SB or do they want to do AV? Oh wait, there's no Venom
I
counter.
think they might do Chin Furin again.
He went 0-4-10 on this in the last game.
The mag really isn't replaceable though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a totally different game. Or okay, I also
Come on, first
okay.
phase Timber. Let's go.
Wisp Sven is Liquid's opener this time round. Dangerous. We have seen Virtus Pro beat them though.
yeah.
Not like
And
it's the.
we also saw VP
Invincible.
lose with these two heroes together earlier today. They played it against the newbie Timbersaw lineup.
Yep.
Whenever I see these two heroes together, I'm like, Timber can be great, but I just think it's just a tad too early. You want to see like 3 or 4 heroes before you pick
But
Timbersaw.
then it gets banned second phase. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's obvious.
But there's other options that are also good. If Secret felt great about their Wyvern last game, that's an option. Or you could just
Early Pugna.
pick Pugna.
Can do that too.
Decrepify is good against Sven at least. Life Drain is nice against the Wisp, then you can't use Bottle at all. Can't really use the heals on the core. It's a constant stream of damage over time. I don't exactly know what Secret's plan is with this. If they just considered a counter or if they're setting up for something later. The way I look at the game, I don't know if Night Stalker and Pugna have like the most amazing synergy.
It's been a long time since they picked Pugna actually. I don't think they picked it at all.
Poppy was probably like, okay, they banned our mag. What do you want to play, Fado? What do you want to play this game? Just give it to me. And then if his suggestion is good enough, they go for it. Could be.
Yeah, Mind Control's second most played is Pugna. Matumba Man's third most played in this patch is Pugna.
But it is on the Secret team.
Yeah. That's true.
But I did ask for more nonsense, so
You did.
it's great.
And you got plenty then.
Thanks, Paul. Great.
It's that time of the night again.
But who plays it on Secret though? We've seen it a few times with Fata, I think.
Believe it's Fada.
Yeah, I mean, Fada, it's his fourth most played.
I think Ace plays it.
Mid One's played it, and it's his third most played in the last 90 days.
Really? Third
Yeah.
most?
Yep.
Okay.
The only thing he's played more of is Necro and Ember. So he has played
Alright.
a little bit. So yeah, that's a fairly flexible pick for them, isn't it?
I think Pugna has become a great hero. It's maybe been a bit underrepresented at this tournament.
Yeah,
I'm just
been very quiet here.
It's one of those heroes that's just sometimes maybe a bit awkward to use in the lineup. Immortals is probably the best team right now at just first phasing that hero
Oh,
and just
yeah.
using it however they want. Because they have 3 players on it. They play in all 3 lanes. They look at what's the best option that they have. But it has some weaknesses. It's super susceptible to being killed until level 10 when it gets the health talent. Sure, you have Decrepify, but a lot of nukes just kill this hero from like 100 to 0 almost. It doesn't have any disable. It does have good building damage, and it has good synergy in pairings or in trios with other heroes, but it's not that strong on its own a lot of the time early on, especially as position 3.
So Liquid will get back for the breaker.
They actually got it in the second phase. You would have thought if they wanted the breaker, they would pick it first phase into the NS, but Secret were probably not expecting them to want it anymore since they just let it through.
Sneaky, Micro.
Very sneaky.
It's a high risk, high reward kind of play. They got another strong opener instead, and maybe we're hoping they will still get their breaker.
Did they need a first phase to Sven? They, of all teams, I think, run the Wisp with a lot of different combinations.
They tried IO Tiny earlier this tournament and got
IO Ember is a very common
run over
for them.
Yeah.
too. I think they sometimes like to lead that Lion.
Lion? Where the... Ooh, okay.
great hero against Spirit Breaker. It's actually
Yeah,
super
Not
annoying.
something we've seen for a while, though.
He has an instant hex. He has a good stun.
Oh, there's no Rubik, that's why. Okay. That makes more
And
sense.
yeah, Rubik is...
Very good at killing Wisp, too.
Yes, Finger of
He
Death is a strong spell.
Huge versus Wisp.
Decrep Finger of Death is 900 damage, I think, after reductions, almost. Finger level 1's like 600, right?
I believe
Decrep
so,
Amp is
yeah.
pretty significant if you max it at least.
Dude, his new talent with Ags is amazing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
crazy.
it is so
we were
good.
looking at the X talents earlier.
I
It is
whenever
amazing.
whenever I build my lineup, Ben, I look at my support and I'm like, my Lion is definitely going to peak at level 20 with an X this game. This is a level 20 Lion X game.
This is it.
Surely that's why I would love to see this game. It's
If
just
you have an Alk, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
With Alchemist.
donations are always welcome.
can definitely help.
Donated Ag.
would love to see
It's super cool, but I feel like the primary reason for this pick is actually Spirit Breaker.
Yep, makes sense.
But it's also, like you said, decent against the IO. It's good to have some stuns against Sven. He deals damage really fast, but can obviously, if you can control the Sven, it's nice. But they have nothing piercing BKB right now at all.
I think Hex is actually pretty good though versus BKB in general, and Miracle also doesn't like BKB that much.
That's true. Play the player, not the game, or play the player and the game.
Play the player, not the hero.
There it is.
Got it.
Got a little bit more nonsense going here. I got your back, Paul.
Good stuff. Glad to.
Bad Rider. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
not the most common pick into Night Stalker. I've thought a bit about these vision matchups and how it works, because a lot of the time you would feel like, oh, Night Stalker's a counter to Beastmaster or Bat Rider because these heroes rely a lot on their vision and you can limit their vision. But you can also flip it around and be like, oh, we at least have some sort of vision against Night Stalker. Like we have something that can fly over and see stuff. And the more I think about it, the less Night Stalker favorite I think it is, because it's more important to see something against that hero than it is to have like free vision on the vision hero in general, I think.
Makes sense. And really good combo with the
Great
relocate.
catch for relocate, exactly. Now they have 2 reload catches. Team Liquid's team fight is a bit lacking though. They have no really good AoE control. They have Stormhammer. They get a good charge maybe. And that's another point about Lion. We talked about how it kills Wisp, but it's actually a good hero against relocate. If you're good with Earth Spike, you can counterplay reload really well. Juggernaut.
it's funny, just looking through, I know this is on the other side, but Karuki's third most played in the last 60 days is Lion. Just as a freaky thing, even though it's on Secret, right?
In pubs?
Yeah, over all of his games. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So FPL stuff as well. Actually, I don't think he's played any FPL. Not got that on my notes, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
I don't think so either. So Juggernaut, Secret wanted a hero that can lane against Bat Rider so that their supports are more free to move. It's especially important when you have Night Stalker that he's not locked in the safe lane to babysit someone. So there's that freedom for him to get moving. The alternative that Secret primarily like to go against the Bat Rider would be the Weaver, but Spirit Breaker is a really bad matchup. It's one of the worst heroes you can play against this Weaver. Else, I think this would have been a Weaver pick for Secret, but Juggernaut's their plan B. Not that Spirit Breaker isn't good against him either. It's still good. You can stun with charge. You have the Nether Strike through spin as well, so 2 spin counters, but you generally don't go from 100 to 0 in Blade Fury. Weaver has a tendency to just get squatted, get squished. So now Liquid are digging into the extra time. They will want to last pick Matumba's hero here. I think it's exclusively Miracle playing Sven for them. So they're trying to set up for a good Matumba game. Heroes that are... Oh, they banned the Viper again. Mid one being targeted here. Secret have the choice here whether they want to put the Pugna mid or off at this point. And the Jugger can even both go off or mid and safe lane as well. So don't count out the option of Ace playing a different hero as well. This could be a mid one Jugger.
Not in his top 10 right now. Ace is in terms of Pugna, but it is in the top 3 for mid 1. And it is in the top 4 for Fata.
Yep.
So it can be...
so there's an Ursa ban. This looks like they're going to pick a specific hero that they've already planned. Yep. It might just be thinking about the possible alternatives, but this is a very peculiar ban unless you want a lane matchup that's just bad.
Alchemist.
Ill-advised this game, I think. But you could get the Axe for Lion. Yeah.
Worth. Totally worth. Well, that's one of the matchups that Ursa's really good against. He's a good runners. But Ember and Alk, I think, are his 2 best matchups. But
Timbersaw.
actually won't be either of those.
Pretty good against Necro, I guess. Diffusal Carrier.
Necro?
There's a lot there. Yeah. Okay.
I look at the Secret lineup and I see a lot of magic damage and a lot of like team fight focus. The only physical damage they have is the Juggernaut, more or less. So what Liquid can consider is taking like a magic resistance route where they build hoods. They could get BKB heroes, or they could try to split the map and not let Secret 5-man, because Secret's actually pretty bad at skirmishes, which is annoying to play Night Stalker with. It's a very 5-man centric Night Stalker game.
They're ready.
Let's see.
Okay, well that's a more standard pick, I guess. With the Bloodseeker on Team Liquid, they're ready. We're almost ready. Cinderin, what do you make of the draft?
I like Liquid again. I think what is the most important thing for them is that Bat Rider gets lane against the Necro. If they can manage to ensure that, I favor their laning phase, and it's Liquid with Io Sven. So off to a good start in the lanes, and Liquid will get this game. This time they are not on a timer like last time.
Level 20 Lion Ags. Let's go. I believe in the Absol. Let's see.
You ready? Yeah? Okay. All right, well, let's find out as we head into our final game of this semi-final. This one will decide who goes to the grand final. Is it Team Liquid or Team Secret? Let's find out.
Team Liquid, Team Secret. One of these two teams is heading to the grand finals of the first major of the season here at ESL One Hamburg. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be that MVP? We'll have to find out together as Blitz and I are going to cast through this game for you. Blitz, how'd you feel about the draft so far? I feel like it's somewhat standard on both sides.
Yeah, nothing too surprising. I think the line is the thing that throws me off the most. It's the only hero that doesn't quite belong there.
Yeah.
But even that is kind of okay.
Yeah, and it'll work out decently, right? It's just a solid disabler. It can burst down the wisp. That sounds okay to me.
Yeah, and oftentimes they want to put Yapzor on a hero that just has some kind of way to kill a bunch of creeps at once. Line is one of those best. And Ben said that he didn't think that this line was going to get Ags and is level 20. I would wager that you were wrong. That's Yapzor.
That's Yapzor playing the Lion, and Puppy on the Night Stalker. So we all know who's going to be taking the farm priority between those two. Yapzor, the big playmaker of the two of them. Puppy, the quieter captain, assisting his team through wards. Mind Control's going to go for the classic Batrider play. Slips his way behind the tier 1 tower. Gets a ward down. He's going to cut that first creep wave. Hope to be able to pick up level 2. I say that. You actually don't get level 2 anymore off the first wave. You're just shy of it.
It's still really nice to do, though.
Yeah.
It kind of helps out the lanes quite a bit. And Matama Man going to Blood Rage up Puppy, who's going to get charged. And this is what we wanted to see. The Lion Spike against the Spirit Breaker charge.
Very easily telegraphed. Makes for easier spikes.
That's
First
a really
game
nice stat.
that Miracle has played a hero for the second time. That's pretty interesting.
He really likes playing a multitude of heroes, and if they're not careful, he might not get the opportunity to add more heroes to that list.
Yeah, you see the Batrider already going through that pull. Now, they picked up the Juggernaut. The panel was saying it's a good matchup versus the Batrider. You can just not have to worry too much about your laning phase. And you kind of see that. Secret are willing to leave that Juggernaut alone because Puppy and Yapzor have combined their powers together to battle up against Kuro. But Kuro does have the assistance of GH. That makes it a deadly duo. Kuro is going to go for a charge away, but the Void is going to be able to stop him. Oh no, well, Kuro, he oversteps his bounds as the Spirit Breaker frontliner and ends up going down to Team Secret, an early first blood.
And meanwhile, up at top, Pugna getting absolute free farm. This tri-lane on tri-lane situation mid is going to favor Secret, especially after the first blood that they managed to pick up. And
Ace going to be run down here. He already went through his spin, so Mind Control is going to get a little extra damage on him. Meanwhile, we saw Miracle try and go on Fada as GH made the rotation across. But Yapzor is pretty much following GH around right now. It's going to make this 1v1 into a 2v2.
Yeah, and so far so good as Secret continuing to just farm. This time around, though, Matama Man is getting a pretty free laning phase. This kind of goes both ways, though.
This is a losing lane, right? I mean, I feel like unless I'm looking at a Razor or a Viper, like Bloodseeker just wins these mid lane matchups because he always gets so many denies.
Yeah, and he's going to start to pull ahead, but it's this top lane right now as
another
this
stun
duo.
too. G8. Oh no, they missed it.
I think
Earth Spike, just a little too late.
that was a little greedy. He was trying not to stack it up, but I think if he just fires it off there, the right click is enough with the damage to get the kill.
And at very least, even if he does get the tether off, say he's only like one hit away, Fada could just charge forward.
Yes, but instead he's got 2 bottle charges on him. Going to continue to cycle through those, and Fada continues to have a very good time up at this top lane, but similarly at bottom.
You would say this is probably an evenly matched lane, this 1v1, the Batrider versus the Juggernaut?
I think the Jug is favored, because it's easier for him to see us. You've played Batrider before.
Yeah, it's like you're trying sticky napalm, but really the only way to beat out a Juggernaut is if you're going to have like a couple of sticky napalm stacks. Your right clicks are still...
Yeah. And CSing as a Batrider just, it feels pretty bad.
feels bad.
You got one of the worst.
You're like 49 damage or something.
Yeah. And the good news right now for Secret is that
He's got a stun here. GH might just be in trouble. The blast not going to hit GH here.
ooh, if that blast connects, but Puppey is really
A lot of
going for
damage
it
on
right
the
now.
Miracle.
Yeah, and Miracle just tanking a bunch
He's
of
waiting
these
for the
right
tether
clicks.
forward, and now the tether does come as the charge comes through, but Puppey's not immediately able to jump on a GH like he was hoping for. Fada pops a Fairy Fire, gets a little bit more damage out, managed to get the
he
trap
gets
fly
the
on
trap.
himself. He's running away.
They got
Kuro,
the
he's
kill.
actually one step ahead. He gets the healing salve off. That is beautiful play from Fada. Transformed into an off-laner, and what a beautiful play here in this Game 3 of Team Liquid versus Secret.
Did Kuro, okay.
Yep, suicide into Roshan. Not sure if that was intentional or he just got bashed in an inopportune time. Either way.
Very sure that was intentional, as mid one doesn't have his Ghost Shot available, and Matuma Man committing for this, but with the heal and the Fairy Fire up, he's taking a lot of damage from the tower.
Why doesn't he have Ghost Shroud for just the efficiency?
A lot of people skip it nowadays.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
It's
not feeling it.
a little bit greedier, but overall it makes the lane a lot easier to play.
Yeah. I was just thinking like Heartstopper Aura is just, it's going to be rectified by the fact that Matuma Man is going to be able to get last hits, including that one on mid one.
That was huge. Getting a solo kill, he's now going to be a full level ahead.
Yeah, and he's going to have the opportunity for another kill with the Rupture that's coming up.
And that's the downside. If you kill somebody without Rupture, then they TP in mid, and now your escape mechanic is gone.
Yeah, so that's why Secret do have to bring some heroes to mid quite soon. The Rupture is up right now.
Yeah, they're gathered around that area, and Liquid, this is their saving grace so far, is that Matuma Man got that solo kill, and he is doing quite well for himself.
Kuro.
As Puppey and Kuro getting into a old teammate battle.
1v1 of the hard 5 positions. Kuro is the first one to blink here.
And Yapzor just trying to set up creeps. I thought for a second he was going to last hit.
There's
and
the
mid
Rupture
one.
play on the mid one. The TP's coming in from the Lion. Those disables combined with the tower is going to make it a little bit difficult, but the charge coming in, nice. He managed to get the Hex off before the charge actually hits mid one and would have bumped him back. And now Kuro's quite low. He actually goes for the TP out. Both GH and Matuma Man are dangerously low. Matuma Man's trying to get these kills in order to stay alive, but he's not going to make it. Puppey gets the Void just in time. A 2-for-1 trade-off to the favor of Secret.
Yeah, they did not expect Necrophos to
and
at
even
level
more.
5 skill that, and Miracle.
They do get that big nuke, but it's not quite enough. Fada does have vision, but he's not going to be able to make it out of here. The charge onto him. They're just going to try and run him down.
Yeah,
And
just
just
going to deal
Stormhammer.
a lot of damage here.
So he's going to be run down. Fada seems like got a little too aggressive on a Miracle. Just barely shy of that kill, too.
Yeah. And I thought for a second he could go for something crazy like Mango Decrep, but I think he's still dead there.
Yeah.
The stun was cooling off. They would have chased him down. Couldn't quite make it up there anyways, as Matuma Man continues to farm. Unfortunately for him, that death is going to cost his lead a little bit.
Yeah. Same goes with Fada, though, and his death in the top lane, because he was doing very well, 27 and 8 right now compared to the 26 and 3 of the Sven. So, considering it is an off lane, I would definitely consider that a win for Secret.
Yeah, and Kuro thought about charging Fada, but Pugna not really in that position. And Mind Control, one of the best heroes at dealing with this Necrophos. You can just sticky him 2 or 3 times and immediately make the move. The Ghost Shot will kill him even faster.
Mind Control found an Invis rune. But, Secret did have a ward down there.
Also, nobody's bottom for like 2 straight minutes.
Yeah. But Midwan is still going to be caught here, it looks like. He's trying to run off the Rupture, so Mind Control doesn't actually get in range of the lasso. Bloodright is going to land. Oh, no, just outside of the range there.
Yeah, and Mind Control pops the Firefly, but it's been a while now since he's been missing from bottom. This Juggernaut finally starting to pick up some free farm in his absence as Secret.
Full rotation coming up.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be pretty happy with this laning phase so far, although...
Fada's going to get gone on right as the supports are here, so they could turn this around if he gets the Crep
double
off as
stun.
well as the stun. That's a beautiful setup. Fada turns around, managed to get a big nuke off, and now Ace is here as well, so the Sven's going to be in big trouble. Ace is just hoping to be able to get
got
that
his
on the
ulti.
slash off. He doesn't even need it. He's just going to go ahead and get the spin kill. Kuro, he's going to have to run himself away from this one. A full retreat for the captain of Team Liquid, leaving his allies to die 6-3 now. Secret taking a very early lead.
They have just straight up ruined Miracle's game.
But Tumba, man, he's getting a lot of last hits, so the Death Pulse is helping him regen up, and he's going to be able to get the Ghost Shroud, but it looks like this Blood Right play could be enough. Mid-One's going to go for the TP out. They don't have a stun nor enough damage to be able to bring him down, and back home he goes.
Yeah, fully completed Veil, and YapzOr's Lion, before that ended up happening, he's done so much already. The double stuns, very effective against the Spirit Breaker so far, and this has been their counter. How will it work out? Is YapzOr already level 5?
I mean, it's only going to get better, right? Once you get Finger of Death against the Wisp, just...
Against anybody on Liquid's lineup at this point, Finger Death almost always leads to a kill. The downside, though, oftentimes with Lion is they run him in that 5 position role, and you have like a level 3 Lion at 10 minutes that has one of the worst move speeds in the game, can't afford himself a Blink Dagger, and so he becomes a liability in these fights. But in this situation, YapzOr, playing the 4 position line, is getting quite a bit of farm, which is interesting considering he has a Night Stalker on his team.
Bada's Pugna is trying to make his way down to bottom lane, wants to be able to stay in lane against the Sven, and also to defend this tower. At the same time, Ace is trying to threaten the top tier 1, so Miracle goes ahead and pops the God Strength.
Oh, throws out the stun, hoping to catch, but unable to do so. And Secret gonna defend their tier 1 tower, and Liquid repelled once again from this bottom area as the Rupture comes on.
Yeah, they just saw a lot of heroes, so they feel comfortable going for this mid lane kill. Mid 1 does have TPs. Ready to help him out. He's going to go for the TP out. Jakrepvi's here as well, but the charge is going to be able to stop that TP. Ace comes in. They've got the Reaper's side. They have enough damage. Maybe no, but GH mitigates it just enough that he's not going to be able to die, but the blast finish off both of them. Looks like the Necrophone's caught inside the lasso, but it's not enough either. He doesn't burn underneath the Firefly. Now GH is going to be caught as well. Decrepify blast and Ace, an easy double kill for him. Liquid are getting destroyed by Secret in this game 3, just like they did in game 2.
They are trying to force things a little bit too much, and they are suffering for it. You notice there are 2 supports struggling with levels right now. Hasn't really been able to do too much. This Spirit Breaker and this Wisp, they're not supposed to be this far behind, and YapzOr is about to hit his level 6. There's a Tome available for him shortly, and this mid tower is getting assaulted, but with no mana on any of their heroes, they're going to back up. Still, I think they're going to be really satisfied with their haul.
Oh, absolutely.
And Puppey ends up going for an Iron Talon. Is farming up a little bit more.
Well, I guess if you're going to be buying the wards, it's Puppey. But you still want to get farm on a Night Stalker. There's no sense in not being able to get like Medallion, maybe an Aghanims later on to the game.
Yeah.
Night Stalker does see a lot of farming time during daytime, right?
It's going to be Puppey that picks up the tome. And you are correct. During the time it is day. What else is there to do? Secret. They're just letting Liquid crash into them, and they're just not breaking.
Blast after blast rains in
Yeah.
on mid lane. Tower is about to fall.
And mid 1 about to hit his level 10. Very good.
Don't have a blast to finish out that tower, though. Some men will take the deny.
He just prepped it. Bloodseeker gets the deny, but that's still a very early mid tower being taken. Fada using the shrine. Doesn't really even care. As now they make their way down. There is a ward there, and Miracle's just going to farm out the jungle. And how are we looking on stack so far?
Yeah, Miracle needs some big ancient stacks to get back into this game, because he did not have a fun laning phase, that's for sure. So you can see a 2-stack on that one set of ancients.
Yeah, and up at top.
Mind Control goes for the TP out right next to the creep wave, so feeling comfortable with that Ace, who didn't actually have Omni Slash, out of mana.
Yeah. And now Nighttime Puppey, level 6, making his way forward. GH.
YapzOr coming in. Maybe they can kill Sven here. Oh, they definitely can. They've got a huge burst of magic damage coming in with the Reaper's Scythe. GH, who didn't have his level 6 to be able to relocate his buddy out, is also going to be caught here. Tried to go for the tether, but got silenced up right as Puppey came in. YapzOr is able to finish him off with a Finger of Death.
A lot of gold now coming on the side of Secret as they're up 2k gold, 12-3.
Oh, Mind Control's gonna, Ace is gonna get caught here. Managed to get the Rupture plus the lasso.
Yeah, doesn't want to try to take out.
Waiting till the
go.
last second. Good play from Liquid. They needed something. Holy crap, they were getting run over this game.
And Secret, now they're going to push out bottom tower as YapzOr has fired his gun, so not going to have anything available for quite some time. As for 2 minutes down.
This Necrophos is already level 10. He's got the 40 damage upgrade.
Yeah.
Making him make chipping down these towers so much easier.
Now, this bottom lane push is going to end as Secret. They're very happy with everything they've gone so far. They've knocked down all the tier 1 towers, and they don't even really have a pushing lineup. They were just kind of able to do it on the back of this Necro, more than even the Pugna.
GH desperately needs his level 6.
Yes, they all need their level 6.
Oh, Spirit Breaker doesn't have his either.
Yeah.
I was like, who are you talking about? I thought it would just be the Wisp. Nope,
Crow's level 4 at 13 minutes.
Oh, he's not living the life. That is not the fun life of a Spirit Breaker. You're supposed to be level 6, running around, getting kills.
Yeah.
Not this guy.
The upside, though, is because they've been splitting so much XP with Fada, he is a little bit underleveled.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good trade.
Oh, yeah. They've been constantly grouping up with this Pugna to allow him to take all these tier 1 towers. As you said, as a result, he's underleveled, yes, but it has been an impossible duo for Liquid to be able to contest, right? Like, being able to have a Necrophos and a Pugna. You can't get a strong initiation on either one of those without the other interfering.
And Secret, they don't have their Finger of Death quite yet, but they do want to make this play. And hopefully every single time Finger of Death is up, for Secret anyways, they want to nab a kill with it. 30 seconds until that's available to them. And on the other side of things, GH, stacking as much as he possibly can. He's going to be successful with that too. Really nice stack by him.
So time to pop a God Strength, just keep on going. Matamba Man is going to get a Blade Mail to try and make himself come online a little bit sooner. Maybe he can fight Secret a bit better soon when they go for one of these tier 2s. But they just loaded another tower drop. Tier 2, top lane, gone. And Secret are rapidly homing in on that tier 2 mid. And I'm beginning to wonder how far does Liquid let Secret push them?
Yeah, they're taking this pretty far right now. And Secret, they don't want a passive farming game like they did in the last game. This time around, they don't have that Ancient Clear that they did with the Magnus. It's Liquid that wants the pace of the game to slow down quite a bit. And that's why Secret trying to push down these tier 2 towers. Liquid should take advantage of this time.
He even got a blast on that tier 3. So the Secret's just, they're down to assault Liquid's base over and over again until Liquid finally make them stop. And it seems like that stop will never come because Mind Control, he's just here with Kuro. There's no real play that they're going to be trying making here. He's just going to pull the creep wave over and farm that.
Yeah, and creep wave is cleared. Liquid gonna back up. Firefly was expended, and during this time, Miracle just continued to farm. The correct play, I think, don't even attempt to take a fight here.
When can you take a fight if you're Liquid?
Not
Is it the Blink Daggers?
I think it would require like both your supports to be level 7 at least. I don't even know if 6 cuts it at this point.
Okay.
You probably need a Blink Dagger on your Sven and maybe like half an item more.
A charge. Now, Secret do have to be careful, right? They can't split up at all because you got both a Spirit Breaker and a Bat Rider into a relocate, which is exactly what's going to be happening here. The top lane, see if they get this up fast enough. They're not. The spin goes off. Ace is going to try and get some distance away from Miracle, but he's got the tether extra movement speed, so he should be able to catch Ace anyway. A good setup for a kill there for Team Liquid. And they're not going to head back to bottom lane. Poor GH is going to be left to die there. Reaper Scythe, okay.
Somebody had to die for that, but still a very nice pickup. I thought that Ace would have gone for the TP out.
Yeah.
But elects not to.
Thought maybe you think maybe the physical damage from Sven was just too much?
Yeah. That has to be the reason why they didn't go for something like that.
"16 minutes in, still no level 6 for Spirit Breaker. Secret did not slow down whatsoever. They got that kill on Wisp and they immediately rotated towards mid, hoping to be able to catch somebody. That would have been the Bloodseeker who was farming mid, but playing it safe. Team Liquid, I think they've felt the pace of the game from Secret and the way they're setting this, constantly running at you. And so they're playing it ultra safe right now. But it looks like they are going to get caught in the top lane here. The Sven is in some big time trouble. Going to be on the slash, Finger of Death, everything being thrown at him. Mind Control could do nothing to save him. In fact, may join him on that trip to the grave, especially with Mid-Wan here. Mind Control has no way out of this one. May not have the Reaper Scythe, but they're going to slow him down just enough to prevent him from getting over the cliff. And look at that. They just found 2 core kills right next to the Roshan pit. Do you need to say more?
Yeah, they're masping that. Still, Liquid, even with those 2 deaths, not getting way too far behind his. But Matamba Man just continues to farm. The game's not looking great for them, but it's not out of their control yet. 17 minutes and a 3K gold lead isn't the worst thing to deal with. Your 2 cores are still very farmed. the majority of your gold deficit comes from the fact that your supports haven't been able to do anything.
Blast after blast. 15-5, 3,000 gold lead plus. And Secret adding a little bit extra on top of that now with the Aegis and the Roshan bounty. Liquid are going to continue to play off of their ancient stacks, though. They really don't have a whole lot of offensive options. They just got to sit back, farm, and hope that Secret won't be able to break the base. And it just gets a little bit too late. Sven takes over the game.
It's not very easy for them to break the base, especially against a Bat Rider. If Mind Control can just get Firefly out, it stops a lot of that push.
And there's always the split push option, right? If Secret ever show 5, then you're going to have the Wisp Sven pushing out a side lane and still going to be able to be there to defend that fight thanks to relocate.
So Ace has the Aegis. 2 times he's been caught now in this top area, and it looked like Liquid wanted to make a third maneuver, but with nobody else on the map showing and that Aegis being there, they have to suspect that something is up as Ace gonna shove out this lane one more time. And Secret, they want to transition this into a really easy push with both tier 3 towers or tier 2 towers down in mid and at top. Any sort of pick-off leads to high ground for them with this Pugna.
If they went for the play that they've been doing, right? Lasso into relocate, all of a sudden the 4 smoked up members of Secret, boom, trap activated, great team fight, straight into a tower push, maybe even a full lane of Rags. Yeah. But Liquid didn't take that bait that Ace was presenting. Instead, they've been, again, playing off their off-lane camp and a push at bottom from our Bat Rider.
That's very nice patience exhibited by them. It's very easy to just mindlessly go outside, try to defend out, but instead, Puppey.
Crow gets spotted, but he's close enough to the base. He should be fine. Pugna is getting some chip damage on this tier 3. It's beginning to be a bit worrying.
It's already at half health.
Yeah.
And this is the danger about playing against Pugna. But Fada, without that creep wave readily available to him.
So Liquid got to defend now. There's Secret are going to keep going for this siege.
Yeah. Ace still has, what, like 3 minutes left on his Aegis? It's very unlikely that Secret gives off on this, and they're even going to drop the healing ward, force Liquid to commit to something. So they're going to drop a ward right on their tower. And Ace going to spin.
Gets a couple more hits on that tier 3. Liquid are going to have to actually jump out, make the initiation, because between the blast and Ace having this Aegis freely hitting that tier 3, they're going to take that tier 3 and open up shrines, and I don't think Liquid could afford to let that happen this early on into the game.
Yeah, I guess it depends on if YapzOr's fast. If YapzOr can catch the Bat Rider as he blinks in, there's no Force Staff available on Mind Control, so it's not easy for him to get out. And now Puppey.
Oh, they're even going to get the Urn onto Mind Control, so this is a free push forward from Ace. Gonna try and put Sven on the front lines, though. Ace goes ahead and throws down the spin.
And Fada,
more damage out. Fada is taking a lot of damage from this Rupture. The combination, they are going to grab him even. Take that one pick off. Now the Omni Slash bouncing around is going to get a Reaper Scythe kill onto a Spirit Breaker, but they don't really care. Liquid, they've lost their hard fight position. They will continue to take this fight. Ace does have another spin to be able to run himself out of this one. Mid one's trying to slow him down with Ghost Shroud as well. Mind Control went for the back line. They managed to get the Healing Ward out. A stun goes on to Ace, though, trying to finish him off with the physical damage. Mind Control took out the Healing Ward. GH is going to be pursued out, though. He goes down. Necrophos is big, and he's going to get a lot of damage over time. But all of these heroes, Miracle turns and fights, though. He managed to get the big kind kill. GH with the buyback comes in, the relocate in to be able to help Miracle out with the extra movement speed. They might be able to kill Ace, but he's been slowed down by the Ghost Shroud. Ace trying to keep one step ahead of him. GH is going to be able to bring him back to base, so at least our Sven is going to get caught out by the 3 members of Secret right in front of that tier 3 tower, but it was not a stellar fight for Liquid.
Yeah, in mid one, absolutely full HP during that entire engagement. Ace was the target of choice for Liquid, but they were unable to do anything as now they make their second attempt.
Charge in, bumps a couple of those heroes. GH trying to hide himself in the trees, but oh my god, there's so much damage from Fada. They actually take down this Sven, and GH couldn't keep the tether alive because Mid-1 and Puppey were zoning him out and even getting that kill. Liquid tried to defend without all of their heroes, and they're going to pay dearly for that. Not just the tier 3, but now potentially a full lane of racks. A buyback from the Sven is going to be stopping things. Secret keep on hitting that melee racks. Now Puppey just line it up right on top of him. Mana Rupture goes on to Mid-1. So maybe they think this is the better target here with the bounce back of the Flame Break. And if they could get a push or a pull or something, any sort of distance on Mid-1 to let the Rupture do a little bit more damage, maybe they could have gotten that kill, but they just don't find an opening to make that initiation.
And that's a very early set of racks taken. Oftentimes you only see something like the range racks being taken. And if you look at this mid tower, it's also in a similar position. Miracle had a buyback for that. They were unable to nab any sort of return kills. Situation is looking pretty poor right now for Team Liquid.
Yeah, they just, I don't know what really clicked for them. That game 2, I would look at it and say a little bit of draft, but Secret playing incredibly well in this game 3 are really taking it to the TI champs.
Liquid, they still have that tier 2 tower available at bottom lane, so even if they lose that mid racks, all is not lost. But it's not looking any better as Fada now finishes that Atos. He is very farmed now.
You're gonna have big time kiting problems. And Miracle, who normally you'd like to see like a Blink on this fan. I guess it's a Wisp lineup though, so Blink's not really required. He's trying to work towards the BKB right now, and it's necessary. Especially with that Rod of Atos. He is gonna get kited for days if he doesn't have Magic Immunity.
Yeah. And this game's problematic for them because, for Liquid anyways, since they need a lot of different jumps, but they don't have it. They really only have this Bat Rider going in. The Spirit Breaker charge is just not really enough. Like, they need to be able to pick up Fada, but at the same time, they don't have any diffusals, so they can't really get through either the Crep or the Ghost Shroud. And they only have one BKB breaker. Actually, they have 2, but the follow-up damage has to come from the Sven. Like, they need a lot of different things to go right to win a team fight.
And it seems like Liquid, or excuse me, Secret, they are not taking any chances. I'm watching them on the minimap. They're sticking together full 5-man as they work their way through jungles, now going for the push at bottom lane, looking to take that tier 2. They are not breaking apart whatsoever and potentially risking Liquid coming out and getting a good smoke initiation or pickoff.
Yeah, and now Secret smoked up, trying to find something here. If they can find Matama Man, they might just use this to try to go for the high ground, but he does have a BKB, so they really need the jump from YapzOr, who needs to find the Hex. They're going the long way. They're pinging out for this right now. Mind Control might be the first.
Instead, they're going to be able to take down the Initiator with the Reaper Sight. He's definitely gone. Liquid scrambling to back out. Go for the full-on TPs, everything they have. Now, fortunately, they do have a buyback, so Secret, even if they did go immediately for that tier 3 push, could have actually had a team fight, but instead, Secret gonna take the safer route. Again, go for the easy gold. Tier 2, bottom lane, and the Shrine also available.
And Secret, 1 or 2 decisive moves from meeting VP in that finals. They've been denied the opportunity a few times now, but maybe third time's the charm.
It's looking like a pretty easy road for Secret. Let's see if they don't trip up here. Nighttime activated. Secret starts setting up. Nice damage on that tier 3. Pretty much just backdooring it with a bottom lane push, unlocking the backdoor protection. They just ignore the creeps that are mid. Blast down that tier 3.
And Secret, if they absolutely want to be sure of their victory, they could just wait for Roshan again, and that's where they're pinging towards next. But that might be Liquid's avenue back into this. Bat Rider, notorious for being one of the best Roshan fighters in the game. That vision advantage is very nice for them. And his ability to see into the pit is going to be invaluable for this next engagement. He's got the 4 staff completed too. This might be Liquid, after they shove out this mid lane and this top lane, smoking to that Roshan pit if they feel like Secret's doing it.
But you would say that, like, between the two, right? Secret potentially going high ground there or playing on Roshan. It's going to be an easier fight for Liquid if they're defending their high ground rather than venturing out into the pit.
I think you have to go for the pit.
Yeah.
It's really hard to fight when Secret has Aegis, because you have to take one decisive move against a team that has an Aegis and a Pugna. Like, the Pugna will just blast you and force you into a situation where you have to punish him or you'll just get racks taken.
Mid one, chilling out in the pit until Roshan spawned. CZ immediately calls Ace and the rest of the boys over. Secret, they're not even bothering with spreading out or anything. They know that Liquid are not contesting them. They see too many heroes. They see one at bottom. They've got good vision around the pit. And the waves are pushing in. So that is going to be an Aegis now for Team Secret, as well as a Cheese. Who's going to pick up the Cheese? Looks like that was Fada rather than mid one. Oh, no. Passed over to mid one there last second.
And now here comes the death push from Secret. And with that tier 3 still available at bottom, Liquid, they have some towers to work with, but I'd imagine they are going to do or die for this set of racks. And if they lose it, then game becomes really impossible.
So Liquid back against the ropes, have to dodge pretty much multiple killing blows now, even if this push doesn't work out for Secret.
Yeah, they've
Liquid
got
are still going to be on the edge.
They likely have to win consecutive fights. If they can win a decisive fight here and not lose their racks, then the game sort of becomes reachable.
It opens up a little bit, right? Then
Yeah.
you can push out waves, you can do the Sven Wisp things.
I'd say they have to win consecutive fights without losing racks
Yeah.
for this game to be within reach still.
Look at that. 0 deaths.
0 deaths.
For Puppy.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
The way that was worded, though, I thought that meant that he was within the top 4% of all deaths. I was like, man, he dies a lot. But actually has 0.
No, not this Puppy. Not this game, anyway.
Now they're just taking out all the shrines, and Liquid, they just have to huddle around their base. No buyback on that Sven. Does have that completed BKB now, though, which is going to help him out quite a bit. And Secret using this opportunity to just farm. I like this a lot. They're scaring Liquid into thinking that the 5-man push is coming at any moment. And during that time, all 5 of them are just hitting creeps.
Yeah, might as well get a little bit more of an advantage. I don't know what items they're going to be picking up that is going to change in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Because eventually they are going to go for that push, right? Just a little bit later when the Aegis is closer to expiring.
Yeah, when there's 3 minutes on that Aegis, what's the point?
Yeah. And we are at that 3-minute marker. And Secret start skedaddling over to the bottom lane. Deal with the Shrine first. Blink Dagger being picked up by a lot of heroes on Team Secret. They want to have the mobility advantage, it seems, and continue to kite that Sven around. Looks like Ace is thinking about picking up a Blink himself. We had the Necrophos grab one as well. It's going to make the game real tough for Liquid when the time comes.
And he's actually changing builds.
Okay, back to the butterfly. More of a damage dealing aspect.
He's got Aegis. I don't think it means too much.
Yeah.
He has Diffusal for the chase. And Fada trying to go for a Linken's, counteracting that Bat Rider as Secret. Maybe now is the time for them to gear up. 15,000 gold built up at just 30 minutes into the game. Liquid doesn't really have a lot working for them. 35,000 total net worth against the 50 of Secret. That is still a 10-second BKB, though, on both of their cores that they haven't been able to flash quite yet.
And they could do God Strength plus Blood Rage on Miracle, which is the potential for a lot of damage if Secret screw up their positioning.
Yeah, and Ace, I'm going to walk up
There
the
goes
high
that
ground.
smoke.
Mind Control pops the Firefly. What's the initiation that they're looking for? They got to drag somebody in deep, and Fada gonna start
Would be a
blasting.
bad
Here we
target.
go.
Oh my god, they're actually just gonna blow up the Sven. He's down for 1.5 minutes before Liquid can jump. Secret actually get the initiation first. Now they make the jump in and aren't gonna be able to get Fada, but it's a bit too late. They're only gonna make it a 4 versus 4 with Ace on top of them. Trying to finish off Kuro is gonna be able to bring down the Spirit Breaker. Now GH's next target going for the Diffuse Blade is gonna be able to catch him. Matumba Man gets the silence onto the Juggernaut, but it's gonna be met by mid-1. Immediately disabled up, not gonna be able to do anything. A force stab buys him a little bit more time, but slowed down by so many Diffuser Blade charges, and is gonna go down to Ace. Triple kill there. Secret have locked Liquid inside of their fountain. A minute left on the death timers of both the Sven and the Bloodseeker. Liquid space is pretty much all Secrets. They're gonna be able to take both mid lane and probably bottom lane.
Yeah, and Secret, they want revenge for what happened to TI, knocking Liquid out of their favorite patch right now. So they're making their way bottom.
Charge on through. Okay, that's a good charge right as the Yapster are trying to jump forward, but they still manage to get the whiz kill. And Mind Control just doesn't have the damage to do a whole lot. Puppy gets another heal thanks to mid-1, and it's going to be just enough to be able to get out of here. It seems like Kuro is going to die on that back line. He tried to charge on through, but a bowling ball he is not. Team Secret calmly chopping down the final tier 3 tower. And a whole bunch of sorries being spammed out by Fada as he's about to knock his former team out of ESL One Hamburg. Another stun comes out, but Matumba Man does manage to get the BKB off on time, but just doesn't have the rending power to be able to stop this one. Now they manage to get the Rupture plus the Lasso, pulling him down to half health, gets over the Shrine, but Ace is able to pop the spin. He's just running after Mind Control. He's going to be able to get the heal off, and he is good. Miracle, okay, he's got his, never mind. Fada managed to get off a little bit of Decrepify action, delays his own death, eventually does go down, but it doesn't stop the Mega Crease from being gotten by Team Liquid. Oh, Finger Death and Reaper Sight from the edge there. Secret do manage to pick up yet another kill, but now they could just full-on retreat. They've got Megas by 32 minutes. It would take a real miracle, not just the player, for Team Liquid to be able to come back from this kind of advantage.
Yes, and even with the BKB charges, without a Diffusal, without a Radiance on their Bloodseeker, things seem pretty bleak right now. As with no racks available, they do still have their tier 4 towers up.
Team Secret are just not letting up. They're going back into the base. They're going to get Vision down. They're not going to give any opportunity for Liquid to just kind of chill out, you know, farm a little bit. They're going to keep their foot right on Liquid's throat.
Yeah. There's no BKBs. There's no God Strength on Miracle. They likely wait for the Pugna anyways, just to cement this game.
Yep.
They're even pinging Roshan. Oh, Secret, they don't want to throw this game.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen them in a major final. I think the last time was
the way back to
Shanghai. That has been so long. Secret fans have been waiting for a Secret team to finally get back on top, and they don't want to throw that away.
31-10, 23K. The metrics go on and on, supporting Secret's dominance of this game 3. But Liquid, they are going to fight it out. They're going to hold on to the faintest hope that they can come back from Megas so early on into the game as well. It's going to be a long, hard slog, and pretty much everything has to go perfect for them just to have a chance.
Yeah, they got one of the better heroes at dealing with Mega Creeps, though, in this event.
Mind control, trying to do something a little cheeky. Went way outside the base, tried to farm some of the enemy jungle, ends up getting caught by Lion.
And he's going to go down quite easily here as Secret, continuing to tighten the noose as they've got quite the lead built up, 25K now as Secret. They're running down mid, everyone joining suit.
Rupture on Ace, goes for the spin. Doesn't have a TP out, so Liquids are going to try and go out there. Manage to get the charge off. Kuro gets turned around on instantly. Jesus. Dagon makes short work of him.
He didn't even have enough time to get the Reaper Scythe off.
Yeah.
That's how fast his death was. Now here we go.
Megas.
Tier 4 towers are being pinged.
Miracle can deal with the Megas. Can he actually deal with the heroes that are flooding in? Another stun, Finger of Death, no Reaper Scythe. A good defensive force staff coming out from Liquid is going to be able to save that one. And now the pull back into the fountain. Onto the Necrophos, they're going to be able to take him down pretty easily. And Miracle does do a lot of damage. He jumps forward onto Ace. They brought down both the tier 4s. Miracle wants his vengeance though. He goes for Fada in the back line. Does have a stun up coming in a second. One chop, two chop, that's all it really takes. But they manage to dodge out with a defensive force staff. And now Decrepify, he's going to be able to live. And now Ace is able to jump in with a Hex. BKB gone from Miracle allows him completely susceptible to Team Liquid. And that's it. Secret, they've done it. Completely jubilant as they manage to take down the TI champs and are going to be heading to the finals of ESL One Hamburg.
Oh, this must feel so sweet for them. It's been a long time coming for Puppey. The rest of his young squad hasn't experienced victory like this as they move on to face VP in a best of 3 to determine who will be the first major winners of this season.
And you have to say, I mean, Game 2 and Game 3, completely dominant by Team Secret. Blitz, if you had your choice, looking at Team Secret, would you just give this to the draft? Was there a certain player that really stood out to you?
I think it was the draft. I think their supports did an excellent job of setting the tone and creating so much space on the map. It felt like Liquid support duo just couldn't do anything against those two heroes from the onset. When they had that level advantage early on, it just felt like it snowballed from there.
And while Liquid, they may not be able to close out this patch, does give way to the rise of new teams. As we see in the finals, who can close out this meta of ESL One Hamburg and set the stage for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. As they were saying there, the last two games of that series, you were totally dominant.
Yeah, we had one of our favorite heroes, the Night Stalker. We've been trying to practice with it and trying to use it a little bit more and just kind of like play the mind game, you know?
Now, every win's a great win. What does it feel like, though, to beat the team that are the TI champions?
Well, the thing is, we've been constantly looking at Liquid the whole year, so it feels really good finally to beat them on a big stage, major match, you know? It's a relief.
And this is a major stage. There is a trophy behind you. It's a big prize pool. It's not all about the money. You've tasted success. Your team are young. They haven't. How much does this final mean now?
Oh man, it's been a long while since I've gotten a win, so I really want this. I really want this.
And just talk me through what you expect from the matchup with VP in what will be just an hour's time.
VP, our favorite comrades, our scrim partners. I wish them luck.
He wishes them luck. What a way to set it up. It was a fabulous performance. We now have our second finalist, Puppy, Team Secret! Which means it's time for us to take a break. They need to get themselves back together again. We are going to have a grand final. VP against Team Secret. It's going to be epic.
I want to get in there.